Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes has been charged with, quote, massive fraud. According to the SEC, the blood testing startup raised more than $700 million while deceiving investors that it had a commercially ready portable blood analyzer. And every time something like this happens, I think the same thing. How did this happen?
You know, it's just the old-fashioned way. She frauded us. And by us, I mean, me, when I was the editor of Fortune magazine, we did a cover story about her that was favorable. A lot of other news organizations did that. A lot of other investors put money in. And, she really, apparently, according to the SEC, was an old-fashioned con. And I have to say that I always found her to be a little strange. Her continence. That's not any reason not to believe someone. But there was one thing, and this was the big red flag.
Yeah.
And I told you about this, Miles. When we talked about this, she always said there was a part of it that's a black box. I can't explain it to you. It's proprietary. I can't tell you about it, or I can't explain it. And that's the biggest red flag of all. And so now it's coming home to roost.
It's like blockchain.
Well,
wow.
Yeah, or
okay.
like the Coke formula. But I guess we all get to taste the Coke
Coke
formula.
is delicious.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're
It's
right.
not the same thing.
I'm trying to think of some analogy.
This makes me think of, we've talked a lot about private markets or the new public markets, and that there's so much money in private investing in Silicon Valley. You don't need the public market. Oh, Wall Street is so focused on the short term. They don't let us really go and innovate and do all that. And I just kind of think that's, clearly been exposed as a little bit of BS coming from the investment community who wants to be there. I think from the media that covers Silicon Valley in a certain way. And then, obviously from the companies themselves. They don't want to be subject to the kind of quarterly scrutiny that you're subjected to when you're public. But I think it's going to, help Snap a lot, for example. I've said that a number of times. I think discipline for the quarterly report will be good for them. I think more companies should be public. I think it's better for the economy. It's better for business when companies are under the microscope, because I have to believe that if Theranos had been public 2-3 years ago, Wall Street would have figured out that something was wrong. I mean, they obviously couldn't go public because their books were nothing.
And you know who figured it out, Miles? The Wall Street Journal.
Wall Street Journal did.
And kudos to the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah.
They really figured this one out. It was 5 years ago now. They've been on the case, and they were the ones that cracked it. And I think the SEC action today is due in large part to the work that they did.
The work that they did there.